As the hunger for international power of entertainment agencies in South Korea grows, more and more foreign idols are scouted to increase the appeal of global audiences. Ironically, while the number of them keeps increasing over the past years, what these idols gain from their efforts is usually overlooked compared to the Korean members. Though some just regard this as a myth, the fact that fans have been demanding fairness for these foreign idols seems to tell a different story. Since idols in general are under great influences of management companies, many mistake that the mistreatment only comes from this higher force. However, the fact is that what these actions are doing is just the result of an inverse relationship, where the way a company treats foreign idols is strongly correlated to that of the public. Take the case of TWICE's Japanese line, Mina, Sana, and Momo, for instance. In 2018, when they started their live broadcast on VLive in Korean but soon switched to Japanese to converse with one another, the comments were flooded with people coming to criticize the triad. According to netizens, as VLive is mostly used by Korean fans, the fact that the girls kept conversing in their mother language frustrated them for a bunch of reasons. Firstly, as the sub on VLive took roughly a day to be available, it wasn't until the next day when the sub was up that fans could laugh along with what Sana, Mina, and Momo were joking about. Fans also believed that since the members have gone to South Korea to make money, they should have spoken Korean to show their gratitude and appreciation. As the broadcast started to blow up online, Sana, Mina, and Momo also faced a large wave of criticism. Some even took the story further by asking if TWICE was still a K-pop group, and why should foreign idols be allowed to debut in the first place? Even worse, there was also a netizen trying to defend his racist attitude by saying that though he had no problems with having Japanese members in TWICE, had they not spoken Japanese for so long on the platform mostly used by Korean people, then nothing bad would have happened. Ironically, he added, K-pop is going downhill because of Japanese members, which basically contrasted all his reasoning right before that. Weirdly enough, some even took that Japanese-speaking thing way too personally, as they implied the VLive as a message telling Korean fans to learn Japanese. On the other hand, a proportion of fans were also quick to step in and defend the Japanese line, by saying the members actually spoke Korean for most of the VLive, and they only answered in Japanese when being asked in that language. Moreover, onesis didn't solely come from South Korea. They were also Thai, Chinese, American, Japanese, and any other nationalities, so it's totally nonsense to make a big fuss over the members as speaking their native language. Regardless of the polarized opinions, it's still obvious that there are tons of netizens who couldn't stand seeing foreign members in a K-pop group. Remember the inverse relationship I've mentioned in the early part of the video? Considering such a heavy bias toward Korean-related things in general, and Korean idols in particular existing in the mind of netizens, there's no good reason for big companies to not do the same thing, mistreating their foreign idols. One of the most recent cases vividly illustrating this statement is that of G-idol's Shuhwa, whose nationality is Taiwanese. Ever since day one, fans have already been mad about the ridiculously tiny amount of line distribution and screen time. Except for the debut MV, where Shuhwa received the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have more lines than Suchin, for all the remaining title songs, she has always been ranked last. However, it's also not correct to say that was Shuhwa's unprecedented opportunity, because do you know what she got to sing in Ratata? A series of Ratata. As some fans were well aware of this issue and raised it up, Shuhwa got more interpretable lines in the second comeback, Han. However, as people started to blast her for imperfect Korean pronunciation, she literally got no line for the third promotion, Señorita. Since one idol could only have individual screen time when it's their turn to sing, Shuhwa had been placed in the back of the group, got little to no lines as well as screen time. While it seemed that things would turn for the better after she was more visible during the promotion of Uh-Oh and Oh My God, fans, especially those from China, were outraged with the way Cube Entertainment treated her in G-idol's latest comeback, Hua. During the 3-minute and 19-second song, she only sang 3.8 seconds and appeared for 17 seconds in the MV, a number that could hardly make her face recognizable to non-fans. Even when Chinese fans sent Cube Entertainment an email to request answers about the incident, claiming that they would halt the order of G-idol's album, stop supporting the group, and instead only root for Shuhwa's solo promotion, still no response was made by Cube. Obviously, the company has turned a blind eye on the situation for ages, and since only Shuhwa's fans in China asked for a change, the problem is totally negligible. Even among big companies, the ideology of Koreans are better is still clearly reflected. Most recently, the discrimination and treatment with two foreign members of aespa, Giselle and Ningning, has also upset a lot of fans. During the performance on SBS Gayeotdaejeon, where the group did a dance break as an intro for their performance, fans were hugely disappointed to see Karina and Winter took all the spotlight, whereas Giselle and Ningning were neglected. In this dance break, not only the choreography was made for Karina and Winter to take turns in the center position, but the cameraman also focused solely on the visuals of the Korean line, whereas Giselle and Ningning were always set to stand on the outermost and dance some complementary moves. Fans even said that they were nothing more than two backup dancers in this intro. If you only watch this cut, it totally makes sense to say this was the couple dance break of Karina and Winter. While the foreign line was down on the ground, the camera was all around the sharp moves of the two Korean members. As Boa once commented that aespa was an all-rounded group, from singing, rapping to dancing, and even modeling, it didn't make sense to just give Giselle and Ningning zero spotlight like that. Mistreatment to foreign idols has never been anything new, because turning back the clock a little more, we have the foreign line in NCT. Even though half the members are foreign, no one was treated better just because of there being a majority in the group. One big recent controversy was the general and blatant mistreatment of Renjun, a Chinese member of the subunit NCT Dream. You can see here an instance where Renjun is showing photos to viewers of the livestream, and the staff behind the camera tell him to shut up. What's worth discussing is that Renjun didn't look surprised at all and just said, okay, as if he's used to it and this situation has happened before. As the staff was that blatantly rude in public, many assumed things that took place when the camera wasn't rolling could be even 10 times worse. Another big but ongoing controversy surrounding SM Entertainment and NCT is the even more extreme mistreatment and the sudden erasure of the subunit NCT 127's Winwin, another Chinese member. Winwin had been with NCT 127 since their debut in 2016, but when he joined the Chinese subunit, WayV, he literally disappeared completely from the former group. One example of this case is how SM chose to exclude Winwin's name on the member-based metal straws after his debut with WayV. To make matters worse, it was never officially announced if he had left NCT 127 or not, which has caused a giant commotion among fans. Then, Winwin was completely taken out of NCT 127's promotional activities, so he did not join NCT 127 on their tour. However, there is no real reason as to why he couldn't join them. WayV has worked for years with the lineup of NCT 127, to just then evaporate without explanation. Going a little further back in time, we have Chris Wu, who terminated his contract along with two other members, Dao and Luhan, with SM Entertainment after roughly 1 year working under EXO. In May 2014, Chris was the first member to file a lawsuit against SM, due to being treated differently from the Korean members and treated like a machine rather than a person. Even when he was diagnosed with myocarditis, a severe heart condition, SM still forced him to overwork, which ended up worsening his condition. In October 2014, Luhan was the second member to file a lawsuit against SM for the same reason as Chris: favoritism towards Korean members. In July 2016, he officially left EXO and, just like Chris, his contract with SM remains valid till 2022. In August 2015, Dao became the third member to file a lawsuit, saying that he lacks freedom and the 10-year contract was unfair and had unjust terms. Unlike Chris and Luhan's cases, where the issue resolved a compromise with SM, Dao's was the only one where the court ruled in SM's favor. Though some believe that the company used their power and experience in the two previous cases to deal with Dao, nothing was ever confirmed. Still, there are exceptions. As the K-pop industry always puts money on top, if an idol wants to be well treated, they must first be extremely famous, like Blackpink's Lisa and Twice's Chewie. While many fans have non-stop demanded fairness for Lisa, these claims were mainly baseless, except for the time she had the worst outfit. After Lisa gained worldwide love and recognition for the Barbie visuals, dancing talents, and interesting personality, she is the member receiving the most promotions and advertising. For now, she is the one with the best costume, makeup, and even gets advertising like crazy in China. Despite being a lead rapper, in many Blackpink songs, she even got the solo rap part. Take Ice Cream, for example. Lisa is assessed to have the second most impressive lines, just after Selena Gomez. She also was able to show almost all her potential and then went on to become the mentor of a famous survival show in China, Youth with You, for 2 seasons straight. Not stopping in the music field, YG Entertainment even pushed her further in the fashion industry by constantly getting her ambassador endorsements and modeling contracts. According to the latest statistics of South China Morning Post, Lisa is currently the richest member in Blackpink, with assets estimated to be around $10 million net worth. Besides Lisa, Chewie has also deemed another exception in the way foreign idols are generally treated, thanks to her explosive popularity ever since day one. A little different from Lisa, ever since Twice's debut, Chewie has already received the best possible treatment, thanks to her pre-debut reputation in 16. With this explosive reputation, she has managed to become the richest member in Twice, with a net worth of $2 million thanks to the large number of solo contracts and personal activities. While many foreign idols usually have their salary much less than the domestic peers, in Twice, her salary from 2016 to 2019 is also estimated to be the highest among members. Last but not least, for the humongous love towards Chewie, she was never once mistreated in line distribution, screen time, or anything like that from her debut. So, do you think mistreatment towards foreign idols is really a big thing, or just another myth in K-pop? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BBoss TV, as more intriguing news is waiting for you ahead. Thank you for watching.